Mike, any update on Max and/or your two guys on pup corner?
We're hoping that Max he's scheduled to practice today, and so is Jalen. We're going to bring him off of pup today.
Yeah, how about the two corners? Any?
Jalen.
Oh, Jay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Anything jump out off the tape that you didn't suspect?
That I didn't suspect. I think, like anything, I thought the defense played better than probably felt walking off the field. I think outside of the slow start, that was something as a team that we need to be on top of. I'm a big believer in ROI. Everybody practices a little differently, and you emphasize things more, from one phase to the next. And we spent some time as far as the start of the game. First 15 plays on offense, things like that. So we need to start faster. So that was one of the things I'd like to see, us coming out of this week. But yeah, no, I thought that our young guys are getting better. It's preseason football. We made some mistakes. We had the mistakes on the two interceptions. You'd rather that stuff happen. I paid him to do that, so I guess we got to stop. But, you like to see those things happen. You don't like to see them happen, but it's better they happen in the preseason, so you can definitely learn from it. But we'll get our young guys will get another chance. Thursday night in Buffalo. The main thing for today is we're kind of still in the install cleanup phase with the older guys, so we're going to really hit that hard today and tomorrow. These are our last two training camp practices. We're on a 10-hour schedule with the vets, so we're gonna max that out with both a practice, and then we'll do the mock game like we did up in Latrobe. We'll do the mock game here, both today and tomorrow. So I really want to have two really productive padded practices, and that's the kind of wrap up training camp, wrap up the things we really want to focus on, make sure our guys are ready to go in Buffalo, and then we got the long weekend. We got to pick the team, but we want to springboard into Atlanta preparation.
Mike, there was a report that came out after the game that you guys have already decided to keep both young quarterbacks. Is that accurate, or is there what more we need to see before making that decision?
Yeah, I haven't been part of any conversations where the 53 has been selected already. So anything, any position, any realm, we definitely have ideas. I think it's evident we're trying to play the players in many different combinations. You can see the personnel groups we're trying to use and so forth. The goal, especially in the younger half of the roster, is to give all these guys a chance to play, perform, to show what they have, and so we can get a clean evaluation on it. So not everybody makes the team today, but they can make it tomorrow, and you have to be in tune with that. You have a 90-man roster for a reason. You roll players in and out of the bottom half, bottom part of your roster for a reason. But it's all about being exposed to, because some players play better in certain places than others, and that's just the way this league has always worked. But you can't give me enough players because it's going to take, it's going to take probably more than the 68 players to win a championship. I've been part of one championship, and you'll hear me say this all the time because I believe it. I think it's a principle of how you develop and build a roster. It takes, it took 77 players in my one experience that, we were able to get that done. So that's a mindset that I hold true to. It affects the way I train the team. It affects how, we look at these young players playing at the end. I've never been comfortable for a player to be part of your training camp process and then he doesn't play in a preseason game. If that happens, that's an error on my process of getting guys in the game. So that's a long answer, but I think it's important to really hit your targets every day. The shift coming back here from Latrobe, we lost that practice up there. That was an important practice. These two are very important practices, so hopefully the weather cooperates. But you only have so much time, and there's a reason why we max out these practices. There's a reason why we stand here until the horn blows to get on field. It's a process that I've done a long time, but you can't have enough information about your players. So that'll be our goal this week, and then hopefully we pick the right 68.
Mike, it's been
game Thursday weighted differently because you've had all this time? That's the last opportunity for these guys.
I'm not sure what do you mean differently.
Is it weighted more? Like, is it more on this performance because you've had them this entire time?
I think like anything, I mean, let's be honest. The depth of your football team is something that really comes out of this third game. That's been my personal experience, and I think it'll probably hold true once we get to Friday. It's important to give these guys. I don't think there's been a year, or times where guys step up in that last game. You go, whoa, and it makes those decisions, after the game even harder. But and harder is not maybe did they make the 53 or the 68, but that's. He's 69, 70, 71. So that's the way I look at it. I value the time that we have with these players. Their time here in the spring is very important to me. I put a lot of weight into that. Because I look at this as, it's a long-term relationship. These guys might not play for us this year, but you never know what the offseason. So you have to look at it that way. So because you have to develop your younger players. This thing is about draft and development, and that's your free agents too. So we always train to the youngest guy in the room. We'll always do that. I think it's important. It's healthy for the older guys. It helps them connect with the younger players. So, wow, my answers are long today. I think it's that. Go ahead. Next question.
Mike, with Max, is this just a ramp-up week for him, or is there any chance of him?
Boy, we just great question. I really want to see him go today. I know he's anxious to go, so I'll be watching him a lot through the individual. Yeah, so we got two padded practices, so it'll be a really good indication of how much he'll be able to play Thursday. So we'll see how it goes.
Like you said, you guys are activating Jalen. Joey still on top. Is there a point at which you need to see him on the field in this preseason to feel comfortable putting him out there week 1?
Yeah, I think these things are I've always, and I learned this in my early years as a head coach. You have to separate the business in the football. Sometimes it's easier than others. This is a challenge, for both Joey and us because we're first year staff. We've seen him play. I've competed against Joey. I would love the opportunity to coach Joey Porter. I know our defensive guys would love the opportunity. So. We're at an impasse right here, and you got to respect that. Every one of us has a contract. The organization, they have beliefs and so forth. So, but yeah, that's just kind of where we are.
Two more.
Mike, you got to see Deshaun Elliott in the game for the first time. How do you see him fitting into your defense?
I'll tell you what, it's great to see him out there. I mean, we all know what big injury that was. He's making progress. He won't practice today. He's feeling it a little bit from the game. So, but yeah, I thought he did some good things, and he needed that. So I was really happy for him because, I mean, he's been here. I mean, every day. I mean, even during the 5 weeks off, he's put a tremendous amount of energy and effort into this recovery. So I thought he took a big step, getting out there playing against the Jets.
Mike Broderick got the most snaps that he's had in the game in a while. How did he recover, and how did the tape show?
He's getting better. It's his position flex is important to my evaluation of him. He'll play both right tackle and some left tackle come Thursday night. So he just got to clean up some things. So it's never the same when you have staff changes. So as far as how you play the quarterback position or how you play other positions, and he just got to keep working. So he's definitely making progress.